Hello, hello, hello. Okay. This is Justice's waiting room. It is Sunday, December 22nd. It is about 9:32 a.m. We're just getting rolling here. Okay. And let me see if I can do this. So I can put myself on, yep, and then I can take my hat, okay, put it here, okay. So you can hear me, but you can't see me. I got King Kong in the trunk, okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eat real quick while we get warmed up. So everybody's looking at a black screen right now for a reason, okay. And again, I'm gonna like mute myself. I guess I should turn my volume off here. So what I was just saying that maybe my YouTubers didn't get is that my camera's off this morning and I have my phone camera covered on TikTok too because I'm eating breakfast. I don't normally go out and get breakfast or stuff like that. I'm not an eat out person. But about 9:15 I got a really bad hunger pang and I was like, "Man, I wasn't even going to eat breakfast and now I have like my stomach hurts. I'm going to go get some food. I'm going to be late going live. So I apologize, everybody. That is not something that I normally do. I literally was getting ready to go live for you all, and I just got really fucking hungry, and I didn't have much time. So I ran out and got some Burger King, which is my breakfast of choice. Mm-hmm. Mingle amongst yourselves while I eat breakfast. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Annie. Hey, May. Select stream. Okay. Got a handful of people. Okay. We'll get in there and look at our TikTok live this morning. Yes, you can't see me. I'm eating breakfast. I don't want you watching me mow down, okay? I'm going to try to get this Burger King breakfast down, okay? Good morning on TikTok. Inspired Taylor. That's my wife, everybody. So everybody go follow Taylor right there. It says TAYLOR on TikTok's chat, okay? And there's Valerie and Julie and Deanne and JK Minbox. What up, what up, what up? So, okay. So, pardon me. We got 5 people in my YouTube live. We're going to get rolling here, and there's a ton of stuff to talk about. Okay, I'm all fired up today. But let me eat real quick. I'm going to try to eat a sandwich and eat some hash browns. And we'll kind of talk while I finish, okay? Yeah, right. I hope it's worth it, right? contrary to popular belief, I do not exist so that you can watch me do even very basic things like feed myself. Okay? A lot of people will invite you into your lives for that, but I'm just not there. I'm not there. And I also think it's like really rude to eat in front of other people who may not be eating. Like not everybody is doing well enough right now where they could afford to go out and get breakfast. You know what I mean? And it wasn't something that we planned on. It wasn't something I planned on doing. Like I said, I'd kind of settled mentally with maybe not eating breakfast today. But about 9:16 to be specific, my stomach was like, "Mm-mm. Mm-mm. If you're going to go live, you better stick something in that hole." And the one thing I've learned in my life is you gotta pay attention to the signs. Like when your body is telling you, "Hey man, I'm hungry." You feed yourself and take care of yourself first. That's like one of the things that we talk about here. Here, I'll turn my camera on. Yeah, I'm bald. Get congratulations. It's in my profile picture in case you didn't know that. So, you probably won't see me eating. And if you ask my wife who is in the TikTok channel, she will tell you of all the people in your life that you've ever watched eat food, I'm the last person. Mm-mm. You don't want to watch me. You don't want to watch me eat food. Okay. Uh, I was bullied. Okay. My dad. I was in the Marine Corps. I've learned in my life shit could get turned upside down. Okay. So here. Hi. Good morning. Okay. What I've learned in my life is that shit can go sideways quick, fast, in a hurry. And if you don't eat with a purpose, mostly your food's just gonna go cold and taste like shit. So I eat like I'm trying to get the last bite in and it still be hot. Savvy? So now you know. Now you know. The audience knows. There's a reason you don't watch me eat food because you know how I told you that little funny story like haha my mom was like, "Oh, you're kind of funny. You're like an alien." And that's my like screen name, likely alien. Wait till you see me eat food and then you realize like he's 6'4", like 300 pounds, puts down a burger in 2 bites, like and doesn't take many bites, right? And I am completely healthy. So this is not me sitting here telling you I have health problems. It's like I am a furnace. Like this shit needs fuel. So I want to make sure that I like sold that. Like I'm not I'm not letting you watch me eat food because trust me, it's only take a few minutes. as I put the blinders on you, like this ain't gonna hurt at all. This ain't gonna hurt at all. I'm just gonna cover up, and I'm gonna cover up my face while I eat. It's polite. Okay. If you're wondering, I'm eating a Burger King breakfast. I'm eating hash browns and I always get the 2 for $6. So they have a sausage bacon croissant, and you can get 2 for $6. Also, for most people, that's like far too much food. Monsoon on Twitter said, honestly, I thought there was something wrong with my phone when I couldn't see you. No, you're good, dude. I'll be back. I'm just trying not to be fucking rude. It's like I wanted to be here for you today on time, but I'm old now. So like when you're old, hunger pangs don't hit like they used to. Like now that I'm old, hunger pangs will sit your ass down. Like I had to sit down and be like, damn, am I dying? Oh, I'm just hungry. It happens. I'm a growing boy. Valerie on TikTok said all the BK near me have closed. Penny said 41 ain't old. What do you know, Penny? I was just joking. It wasn't that bad of a hunger pang. Lori said, you are not old. I know. It was just a joke. I just had like a really bad hunger pang. I don't normally get those. There's like 56 people in here. Watching the inside of my hat. I just want to point out, if you're a nice person in life, 56 people will sit in your TikTok live and talk to the inside of your hat. And if that ain't about the funniest fucking thing I will hear all day. I mean, this is really something you would only understand this if you were like regularly here. What if we get popular and we just do lights off shows to fuck with people? They like go to watch this super popular live. Like apparently this guy's like grown his audience organically and he's like a total sweetheart and everybody loves him and he's like funny and smart and shit and it's wild. And there's like thousands of people watching him. And we take our ardent supporters and we're like, okay, on this day, we're blacking it out. And like thousands of people come into the live and they like Verizon ends up calling me and they're like, yo, can you take your fucking hat off of the top of your phone? Holy shit, we're having like a record number of complaints right now. Our typical 7% return rate is now 17 and it's been one day. Jared, let them see your fucking face. Like, holy shit. It's fucking hilarious. Sorry. I'm almost done. Oh, Tay McMao. That's my wife. I lied. I'm almost done. I would rather just be live. Oh, shit. And eat food and you not sit there and watch me. All right. Appreciate your patience. Appreciate you. Like I said, apologies. I was in the house. Okay, I was in the house. 9:15. I could have just came in here and sat down, made sure I was definitely followed the wrong. No shit. Follow the wrong Taylor. I'm gonna invite my wife and see what happens. See if she gets on here. That'd be crazy. YouTube would be missing it. But for the record, if you really want to meet my wife and get to know my wife a little bit, for the past 7 years, my wife and I have sat down usually on like Wednesdays and Thursday nights, like right before the Thursday night football game during the football season, to predict the winners of every NFL game. And we've kept track of who wins and stuff. And like, of course, I win like most of the time. Um, but yeah, if you want to, if we get to know my wife is like a special human being. But I say that more in like I see her as like Maya Rudolph, or you know what I mean. Like she's dumbass funny. And yeah, she's here. Welcome, my wife, everybody. Sailor, my wife said she's not turning her camera on. She's sitting in the dark. Her computer just crashed. And if you couldn't hear that on YouTube, my wife said she's in our TikTok live right now. She said she doesn't want to turn her camera on because she's sitting in the dark and she's upset because her computer crashed and it cost her about an hour of gameplay in Sims. So you may hear her speak, but you aren't gonna get the face cam. But like I said, if you want to see her beautiful face, you can go on my YouTube. Here, I'll give you a link to my YouTube. Every week, going over 7 years now, babe. Isn't that crazy? For 7 years. So there's a link to the YouTube channel. Okay. Oh, she said she got to change out the dogs, so she's gonna go away on TikTok. All right, see ya. So there, everybody wants to like meet your spouse, and trust me, what's gonna happen is y'all are gonna get to her because she is an affected person. She's a person that you can impact. And so what will happen is you will clamor for her, like where's the missus, okay? And then she'll get involved, and then she becomes competitive, where she's like, "Oh, I'm funnier than you," and you're like, "Cool," but maybe that's not what the show's about. Like maybe we're here because we do the news and stuff. And she's like, "So." And I've just been telling her like you should do comedy. You're fucking hilarious. But you gotta understand, like she's a nerd. She's a nerd that reads Harry Potter and plays the fucking Sims, and she works at the same hospital as her sister. Right? Like she's living like this little dream life. From my perspective, she has a house full of fucking animals. Right? Right? Life is easy. Okay. But yeah, earlier today I was eating, and then hey, I'm gonna take my community wherever I go. Okay. So I want to share this with you. I've been doing some research. Okay. I'm going to share this with both chats. Okay. Inspired says Sims always crashes my computer though. Here's what I think. I think a lot of people that play Sims, they think that you can play Sims on any computer. And if I can impart anything on anyone, it's no, baby, no. Like you need a gaming computer. Like my wife, we bought her a nice PC. So just so you know, her computer crashing and her losing an hour of gameplay, I think that's the first time she's ever said that. So typically, what it is it's RAM, what I call fast memory. There's slow memory, which is where you put stuff, and there's RAM, which is what uses memory. And generally speaking, there when you look at how you could put RAM onto a computer, Jilly said, I bought an MSI gaming laptop for Sims and Fortnite. I fucking love Fortnite. I played Fortnite yesterday for like 3 hours with one of the players that I used to coach. He, I, I have a former colleague that I introduced to this player that I coached. And keep in mind, we're all like 30 and up, so when he was younger than me, his name's Seth. And my name is Jared Seth, and one of my buddies is named Seth. So we were playing Fortnite last night. Um, for the first time in a while. Apparently, the OG Fortnite map is back. That's when I started playing that. But it's a build version, and I don't know about anybody else. But if I've ever tired of something very fast, where I was like, oh, I'll probably never do that shit again on purpose, it's the build system in Fortnite, and it's not because I can't build. It's not because I can't build. It's because it's what makes Fortnite Fortnite. For the record, that was the differentiator. Okay, but it got out of hand. It got out of hand. And I'm much happier playing Fortnite no build. Much happier playing no build Fortnite. It forces people to recognize and have good habits, or just get beat by people that can recognize and have good habits. And one of the things I want to share, and keep in mind, I always try to share things that have a practical application, meaning, like, if I'm talking to you about behaviors in a battle royale video game, it's because the shit works in real life. If I had glasses, this is me pushing my metaphorical glasses up my nose like a fucking nerd, and we're about to nerd out for a minute, except it's about combat stuff. Fortnite. So we're going to talk about Fortnite, okay? So when there's no build mechanic, okay, you want to take what's called right-handed shots, okay? So most people, when they shoot a weapon, they shoot it holding it with their right hand, right? And all I'm saying is a right hand shot just means the cover's on your left and it's shielding your body. And you're shooting at a target to your right, and if it were to return fire, it would just hit the building. That's called taking right hand shots, or shot from cover. Okay? And then also, I want to give you a little ditty, like something that you'll keep in your head forever. This fucking Marine taught me this. I'm the Marine. I'm teaching you something. Elevation, cover, concealment. So the smart thing to do in Fortnite is to get into the circle and into a bush on top of a hill with a rifle of some kind, a sniper or an AR. Why? Because we're playing a video game. We're trying not to give away our position. So we're going to use Marine Corps sniper uh, lingo to help us, and it also works in real life. Guess what? Who's probably not going to be able to aim upwards and hit you before you hit them? That's right, in real life. So, being up in a tree, smart. Being in a tree house, smart. Being in a tower, smart. Okay, something to think about as you move forward in life. You never know when those things will be necessary. Things like face paint, or a mask that um, gives you good camo is good. Wearing gloves that aren't the same color as my pale skin's probably good. But yeah, so you also want to make sure when you're thinking about the costume that you wear in Fortnite, you got to wear a costume that matches the color palette of the map as a whole, to give yourself the tiniest edge when shit hits the fan. And that also applies in like real life. When people are like, why do they use like digital camo, and you see white base digi camo and blue base digi camo and green base digi camo? Well, know that when I was on active duty over 20 years ago, I had two different sets of camo based on the woodland based mission or a desert based mission. You understand? So you had multiple different shades of camo preparing you for multiple different climes and places. Savvy? Grand Rising? So, when we talk about things like Fortnite, understand that that's a one to one real life to video game translation for just about everything I said. Should be fairly easy to comprehend. Okay? Yep. Don't forget about camouflage, but elevation, cover, concealment's going to take you a long way. And then I posted the Neptune app, right? So I posted a video the other day saying, where are we all going to go, right? We've been talking about a TikTok ban. For the record, my chat knows. So I have a Discord channel. Okay. Okay, I have a Discord channel. In order to get access to that Discord channel, you're going to have to be here for a while. Okay? So I have a couple rules. Okay, we got like 38 people in here, plus 8, about 45 people. That's a big classroom of kids. Okay? Hey, make sure that you get 8 hours of sleep a night. Make sure that you drink water. That's right, hydrate. Okay? And try to eat well. Try to eat right. You know, I know I'm not setting a great example by eating Burger King this morning, but that croissant was fucking flaky, and that sausage was seasoned, and that cheese was melty. And if you're gonna be a hater, hate on that breakfast sandwich, because that breakfast sandwich was delish. Okay. But yeah, everybody wants to talk about serious shit. They don't really, we had 100 people in here till I started talking about Fortnite, and people were like, "Oh, checked out. Video games don't have application in the real world." That's crazy. That's crazy to me because I play things like The Division and The Division 2, and that feels very real world. Understand in those games, like a lot of it's not shooty shooty bang bang. There's very little of that actually, with respect to how much doing stuff that you do. That's just doing stuff. So that's why I always say, for the record, pen's mightier than the sword. Some things don't require a clash. Okay? Um. I want to make sure that I'm making you all aware when the government and business are working together. And the story that I just shared is about how the police and the insurance industry are working together. Okay? I think that's a relevant story. It's a good place to start. Okay? Insurance industry leaned on the Department of Justice to take the adjuster case as deterrent against copycats. Okay? So they're going out of their way. Yeah, May. That's why I put the link there so everybody can go sign up for the Neptune app. Here's why I think that's going to be the place to go. Are you ready? People are going to laugh, but it's just fucking true. The CEO is a woman, and so is the COO. Mic drop. Did you need another reason to support a direct competitor to TikTok, and have a really good reason to be like, oh yeah, that's a no fucking brainer. The CEO and founder is a woman. The COO is a woman, and 80% plus of their executive board is fucking female. Do you have any questions? I don't have any, and none of them have lengthy criminal histories. None of them are illegal alien. Let me back up and use English correctly. None of them are illegal immigrants that came into the U.S. on a work visa and dropped out of school and used all their parents' money to start a business. Okay? So somebody said, "What's the link?" Okay? And I'm just going to give you a link to their website. So don't think you're signing up for anything. You're just putting your name on a list. Savvy? So don't act like I got like some special access. Okay? But I'll put it like this. Um, you want to talk about being brokenhearted? You want to know when your favorite new friend was really fucking heartbroken? When Elon Musk bought Twitter and fucking destroyed what I view as the most necessary application in the history of mankind. And here's why. Here's why. Uh, it provides news first. The first site where you'll find like breaking, very important news is Twitter. Facebook is behind. Um, LinkedIn's I feel is years behind Twitter. Years. Conversations that they're having on LinkedIn right now, they were having months ago on Twitter. And people want to talk about Facebook and IG and all these other social media companies. Look, I'll be front. I'll be up front with you. I was willing to do business with Facebook. I was willing to admit that Twitter and Facebook were the two social media platforms that you had to use, but then he bent the knee. Fucking mic drop. Mark Zuckerberg bent the fucking knee and he obeyed in advance. And so did the CEO of TikTok, but the difference is uh Mark Zuckerberg then gave Donald Trump $1 million, and the CEO of TikTok is just trying not to get his app banned. Does everybody understand there's a levels to being a bootlicker? Like going to visit a fascist and then giving him a milli, that's that's kissing the ring. That's bending the knee. That's obeying in advance. Okay. Somebody made the very valid point that members of Congress have stock in Meta. Uh huh. And I think that we should ban stock trading for elected officials. And I think that that's going to happen because here I'll find you a link. Uh, ban stock trading bill here. So see, one of the problems that I have with people is they can admit that there's a problem, but they cannot admit that there's already a solution to that. Okay? 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 We already did this. Okay? 118th Congress. Okay? Bipartisan Ban on Congressional Stock Ownership Act of 2023. Okay? Okay? So there's already been a bill. It's just about we gotta have the people with the good morning, Joanne. They got to have people that have the right uh, ethics and morals that are willing to, like, I don't own any stock and I'm going to be a public school teacher, right? Like I don't think that I should be teaching kids uh invest in the stock market and get into the stock market. I don't think I want to teach kids to do that. So I don't think like it's a good behavior for me to. I think it's important for me to be a union member and to stand up and be a leader within my union and stand up for the people that don't look like me and say you may have been able to treat them poorly before I was here, but now you got to go through me. You may be able to bully them around. You ain't bullying shit, savvy. So that's what you are trying to teach, not get into the stock market. Okay. So I have a feeling, and again, I got to make clear my stance on how I feel about a potential TikTok ban. And I'm just going to read what I sent to the Discord this morning. So the Supreme Court is going to hear arguments about this ban. And the lawyer for TikTok walks up to the judge and just whispers, First Amendment. And then the judge pounds the gavel and says, this shit's over. The fuck are we talking about? It's just that there's going to be a lot more words. It's going to be a lot more drawn out and politicized. Mark Cuban's going to fail to raise enough money to buy it. And ultimately, the platform straight up loses to Neptune on velocity alone. Savvy? So everybody, wants to know how I feel, and you got to have a take on everything. Um, the First Amendment. The First Amendment. Free speech. Yeah. Any so I here's a really crazy policy stance. I disagree with most policy decisions that violate the First Amendment, the right to free speech. However, one of the things that you have to understand is that because TikTok's like owned by China, the US is going to have a problem suing someone for making threats against the government. If there's not US ownership of the application, there's no way to process hate crimes and death threats and all the bad shit. And it's a matter of, and you're going to hear this and you're going to be like, oh my God, it's a matter of national and international security. Why you want a U.S. arm of TikTok so that when people are committing fucking hate crimes, you don't have to go through an adversary to maybe get people that are trying to orchestrate mass unaliving. You know what I mean? The next Jim Jones probably going to come from fucking TikTok. You know what I mean? So, people are asking, I'm just going to tell you, it's a violation of the First Amendment to restrict free speech. So, you also got to understand the argument that it's within the United States' best interest. It's a matter of national and international security to make sure that they have jurisdiction and are able to process and file legal charges on people making threats against the government and threats against people. Remember Nick Fuentes, right? He says your body my choice on TikTok. Nothing happens. He does that shit on an app that is the CEO is a female, and they're going to say prosecute, here's all the information you need. And I know that y'all are like, oh no, that Jared, that sounds an awful lot like you're saying that there should be more legal action, and I am 1,000% there should be more legal action taken. Yes, you cannot say whatever the fuck you want to say, and there's no consequences. Nope, nope. Nope, that's not free speech, honey. Let me let you in on a little secret that maybe nobody's ever told you before. There are consequences for goddamn everything, and Newton's third law of motion applies. There are equal and opposite reactions to everything. So in my eyes, when the adjuster drops the United Healthcare CEO off at the pool in broad daylight, and then last night I see Amazon management turn on a cold hose on Teamsters protesting, those are equal and opposite reactions in my eyes. The difference is that they've unalived millions of us. Just so you know. That cold hose, that cold hose is meant to distract you from how many people they've let unalive under their care. I'm talking about the healthcare system, I'm talking about employers. Joanne says the media is saying stop glorifying him. I just posted an article from the New York Post where the Department of Justice looked to the insurance company. How do we keep people from copycatting the adjuster? How do we keep them from copycatting the adjuster? How about you give us universal health care? That was fucking easy, right? We don't have to keep. Yeah, Ben said revolt. Well, they are. Their own union is on strike. They're the second largest employer in the United States. They're on strike right now. Starbucks is on strike right now. And that's a newly unionized company where the union's trying to gain a footing. Okay? And just so you know, they didn't stop anything. They didn't deter copycats. No. In fact what they've done is they showed him without bruises all over his body. They walked him down that and did all those pictures with him without protection on. He wasn't wearing a vest. He wasn't wearing a helmet to protect his head. They were trying to intimidate you. I made a joke how you see every law enforcement agency and every look that you could possibly get out of a law enforcement agent, whereas in that photo you saw of them walking towards you, and then like I said, he looked like he was about to have an amazing rap career based on the picture of him walking up the stairs with the cop on either side of him from behind. It was just like, so, and we kind of got that out of the way. Okay. The way we try to do it, okay, is we try to look at news and politics and world news, kind of see what's going on, see if there's something we need to talk about. Okay. And I want to make sure that we talk about timing is everything. And somebody pointed this out on Reddit, and I'm just sharing it with you. Okay. Check this out. What's interesting about timing? We've been talking about timing's everything, right? No protection, bright orange suit. Okay. The cops didn't care about him, but his taper fade and the fact that his eyebrows were threaded and he had a clean shave and he didn't have any bruises on him, right? It let you know that he's being taken care of and watched over. And one of the things that somebody reached out to me and said, "Hey, uh, he's being protected." And often people are protected that are perceived to not be guilty. I'm gonna make sure I say that again. I had somebody reach out to me and say, "Hey, I've done time all across the country." When somebody has a fresh haircut and a fresh shave and their eyebrows have been threaded, they're they're innocent. Because think about it, if you'd have done something heinous, you did something you're guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. Think of a heinous crime in your mind. Don't write it down. You're going to get our live banned. Okay? Think about all the horrible shit that people do and how they get treated in prison, and he's not being treated like he's going to be there for a long time. He's being treated like a class hero, right? And that's what I posted yesterday, that you got to start calling a spade and say that's a class hero, and you have to embrace him and you have to protect him. Why? Because he's being embraced. He's being protected. He's not being treated poorly in prison. Again, if he had done something wrong, the the penal group is going to be more of a judge of you, right? That's why I point out bruises. He ain't got no new tattoos. He ain't got the teardrop or the lightning bolt or none of that shit. He ain't done none of that. He didn't have to do none of that. He's keeping himself clean. That's a good thing. Okay. But I wanted to point out how interesting the timing is in Matrialto. Yes, yes. Free the adjuster. The timing on this is interesting. Sentiment Democrats blast Supreme Court's ethical crisis as investigation concludes. And remember, I've been talking about for a while where Joe Biden has fucking immunity. And with all of the lurking evil ahead of us, I think we need like 4 new Supreme Court justices, all progressive. And that gives us a 7-6 progressive edge, and then they'll pursue action on the remaining justices based on their impropriety. And they'll do, when they have a 7-6 progressive margin, you could get like an ethics clause that's enforceable into the Supreme Court, and you could get rid of the shit people and get good people that aren't going to sell us out to fucking Russia in the Supreme Court. And that can still happen before the next administration. Okay. And also understand, we're going to talk about it every day. So there's going to be people that are like, Jared, not again, but you don't get to decide. Okay. Every day, I'm going to share this. Okay. If you're not aware, you can't say I didn't tell you. Okay. I shared a Reddit link because it's convenient that has a link to each Executive Order 13848 and the Processing Election Crimes document. Okay? And I think that you need to read both of these documents. Okay? You need to get a good understanding of them. Okay? You need to get a good understanding of them because it'll help you navigate time periods. Okay? So I want to make sure you know what time period we're in. We are in the second of 3 phases of the investigation happening as a result of Executive Order 13848. So, just so you know, that link that I shared, Donald Trump in September of 2018 signed an executive order requiring all relevant agencies within 45 days of every election Yeah, that should just be bookmarked. Okay. Okay. We should just be bookmarking that. Bookmark federal prosecution of election offenses. Bookmark the American Presidency Project out of UC Santa Barbara. So all my UCSB grads, stand up. Take your flowers. Okay, that's where it's hosted. Okay. So go ahead and click on the ucsb.edu doc. It says presidency.ucsb.edu. And if you open it and scroll down to section 1, I'm going to make sure, and we're going to go over it quickly. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to go over it quickly. But this is what we did yesterday. Okay? Yeah, but that was during the week, Valerie. It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. I've been telling everybody it's tomorrow. Did I not tell you? I got 9 people in my YouTube chat. Did I not tell you the 23rd? I told you the 23rd. I told you that it's the weekend, and it's the weekend before Christmas. And they just gave everybody the 24th off. I think they did that as a matter of national and international security. I think that the statement from the DNI is going to come out tomorrow. And they're going to say, I'm trying to think. I'm a Grisham fan. So I'm trying to think of what they'll say. Over the course of the last 45 days, teams from each of the following agencies, FBI, CIA, NSA, D6, CISA, have conducted thorough investigations of all of the data and information as it pertains to the 2024 U.S. presidential election and have come away with one very clear indicator of Russian interference in our election was more than 217 bomb threats called into polling places on election day. Initially, it was reported that there were 80, and in that it was majority black polling places, and actually there was more than 200. They just didn't tell you this. Yes, I did. Brittany asked if you read the 2022 report. Yes. Yes. And for the record, for anybody wondering, there is a prominent data scientist named Stephen Spoonamore who has done data analytics as it refers to presidential elections for going on 30 years. Okay? And there was no fraud in 2000, none in 02, and in 04, there was provable fraud and it overturned an election. So 20 fucking years ago, Stephen Spoonamore found fraud and it changed an outcome of an election. Hey! We have precedent. And then Stephen Spoonamore has done a data analysis of every election for the last 30 years, right? And he said none in 08, none in 12, none in 16, but there was notable interference. For the record, Donald Trump was surprised he won, and SCOTUS installed Bush. Donald Trump cheated in this election, and block. Okay. And I'd argue, okay, Elmo's helping Germany with an election? Yes. And Corey, yes, I saw the DNI report from November. Did you see the DNI report from November 1st, 2024 and November 4th, 2024 and a month before the election? Joe Biden and a bunch of 3- and 4-letter agencies put out a warning where they were like, hey, we could totally see this coming. Like, they told them They put up like, we know you're gonna cheat in this election, dude. Did you know 250 countries monitored our election? Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that Elon Musk is in international hot water, right? We can all agree Elon Musk is in international hot water. That's all what? That's all what, Nick? That's all what? And anyway, only 250 what? Anyway, so we were in phase 1 of Executive Order 13848 since November 5th, and it ended on the 20th. Okay? So it says in here, not later than 45 days after the conclusion of a United States election. So that's all of them. All of them. All these relevant department and agencies are going to turn in a report, and that was turned in on the 20th, which was Friday, and I'm guessing it was due by midnight. I'm guessing some of those reports started to come in Friday evening, and people keep asking me why did the president and vice president rush back to the White House? Girl, so they could lay on their face on the Oval Office floor, flipping through all these reports with a highlighter in their mouth, and they're drinking their tea, and they're like, oh my God, did you see this? On page 13, holy shit, girl. And they, what the fuck? What the fuck do you think happened? Those reports started to roll in. Somebody from the White House called and said, "Hey Joe, you got a stack of papers on your desk right now that you probably need to start looking at." And they said, "Game on," because you got to remember. I can't even keep up with y'all anymore. There's 150 people in here. I ain't got a chance in hell. Okay, I'm just gonna keep talking. If something is relevant here, one of my mods is gonna make sure that I see it. Sorry about you, TikTok. There's too many of you. I'm too popular. Make sure you like this shit, share this shit, hit these buttons up here, do something. Okay? What was I saying? Oh, right. So people keep asking me, like, why the fuck did they come back early and they didn't get to go home for the holidays and all that shit? I don't, because those reports started to come in from the, you know what I mean? Like the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, D6, CISA. Somebody dropped a report on their desk. Somebody got us somebody is having us. Think about the conversation that we've been having. Somebody complained and we got a restriction for civics and election integrity. Think about that. What we're talking about is something that Donald Trump did this shit himself. He passed this law because he thought he was going to catch Joe Biden. He thought he was going to catch the next person cheating in 2020, and he was going to make all his buddies the head of all these organizations, and they were all going to produce a report for him that won the election for him in 2020, and it didn't happen. In fact, the report that came out in 2020 said there was election interference and there was election fraud, and Donald Trump got like 5,000 people's votes tossed, which is not something to be proud of. Those are actual votes that were cast. And I want to point this out because everybody is starting to talk like Donald Trump's just going to be president. Notice that one of the things I want to make sure everyone knows, there are millions of votes in limbo. Millions of votes in limbo. You saw me say that with my lips, right? And they're telling us that Kamala Harris won this election if 115,000 more votes went her way in just 3 swing states. So again, I'm saying Kamala Harris beat his ass. It was not fucking funny. He cheated, and it's all going to come out in the wash because they told him. Hey, look at this white boy, Michael C4477, getting the most attention you're ever gonna get. Blocked, blocked, blocked. I don't know why they blocked that, Jilly. That doesn't make any sense. They hid one of my own mods telling me that they blocked a problematic person from my chat. Yo, TikTok is boo boo. Okay? TikTok is dog water. Okay? Morgan Southard, any clues on where we are in the process? So you must have just got here. So we just concluded phase 1 of Executive Order 13848, and now we are in phase 2. Droit. And then we are in part B of Executive Order 13848. Okay? And then I want to point out that there's an additional 30 days after that extra 45 days. So the first 45 days was November 5th to December 20th. The second 45 days goes December 21st through February 5th. The last 30 days goes February 5th through the first week or so of March. Okay? So what I fully expect to happen, and it's not why you think, okay? You're welcome. There's almost 200 people in here. A couple weeks ago, do you all remember when Russia, actually Vladimir Putin announced to the public that he was launching an ICBM? Do you guys remember that? The Intercontinental Ballistic Missile? Do you remember that? Okay. Well, he announced to the public that this is not a nuke. It was a test, right? And an intercontinental ballistic missile is supposed to go like thousands of miles. Like they were trying to shoot that shit across Russia and land it in their own land. Okay? And it failed. And it failed. And it landed in Romania. And it just so happens that Russia is also fighting in Romania. They even helped them rig their election. And that constitutes the use of multiple munitions. So because Russia did this shit, they launched the ICBM. It wasn't me. Don't be mad at me. I see people flagging my fucking live and shit because I'm telling y'all the fucking truth. The fuck? Pisses me off. Like, this is learn, up in the top, learn. The difference between a truth and a lie. Learn that shit. So he failed, his test failed, and as a result, it constitutes using multiple munitions in a country you're at war with. And it just so happens that Romania is a NATO member. Can't take the truth. Ain't that about it, okay? So because they can't, what did this say? So I saw something. It was like, do you think we'll hear anything? It's like, are you stupid? How are you listening to me speak and your brain is going, is anything gonna happen? Are they just gonna sit there? So here's one thing y'all gotta know, and it's starting to make me mad because y'all don't understand. You don't understand. Elected officials are duty bound. They don't have a choice. They have to conduct an investigation. They have to tell the truth about it. The reports that are due and generated in the first 90 days post every single election have there's no reason to expect those will be classified or that any of the information will be redacted from those reports. We do not have any indication that that information will be suppressed. Okay? What we did learn is what happens in the last 30 days of that, 120 days, the basically 4 months they have to get it right. The last report can be redacted. Okay? So we're going to find out. We are going to find out that that's coming tomorrow. A lot of people keep asking me, when is the report coming out? It came out the 21st in 2022 or in 2020. I'm guessing the 20th wasn't a fucking Friday. Okay? So I'm just guessing, I don't know, but the 20th last year was like a Thursday, right? So then a report that comes out the next day makes sense. Okay? The 2022 report from Avril Haines was classified until March 2023. Mm-hmm. And that was not a presidential election, was it? So correlation is not causation. Savvy? I'm guessing the rules might be a little different. And what was going on geopolitically probably different. And different strokes for different folks, different rhymes for different times. And if there's anything that I absolutely believe is just because something happened before does not mean that it will happen again. And as I've said, the reason that I'm able to sit here every day and that I'm not fucking bawling, going, oh my God, it's the fall of democracy. We're all gonna die. We should all learn how to do solar and fucking grow gardens and can and shit. Like, we ain't there yet, dog. Hey, wake up. Snap in. Like, we have to let these people do their goddamn job. And when they don't do their job, which will not happen, Let me explain. Let me explain what happens if they just roll over. A whole bunch of people are going to die really quickly. It is antithetical to all of their behavior up to this point. So if you think the Democrats are going to roll over, play dead, do nothing, then I would just ask you, whenever they decided that, what about all the work that they were doing up to that moment? Like, all that shit that they're passing, all this good work that he's doing at the end, right? All the things that are going on here this last month he's in office. I'm talking about Joe Biden. Don't you think that there's no motivation to do those things if the next guy's just going to undo it? Oh, and here's my favorite one. Okay, here's my favorite one. Do you think if the Democrats were going to lay down, roll over, and just hope and pray that we can hold democracy together long enough to hold Donald Trump accountable during his reign, if you think that that's what they were doing, how come they're not talking about 26 and 28? How come they're not fundraising? How come we're not phone banking? How come we're not talking about 26 and 28? How come there's no phone banks for the next election? Oh, we ain't doing that shit. It's too early, Jared. Really? Donald Trump is appointing people to his cabinet. Don't you think an equal opposite reaction if Donald Trump was actually going to be inaugurated on January 20th? Don't you think the Democrats would have started planning to try to win back the fucking country in the next couple of years? Don't you think that would have been important? Don't you think we should be talking about that right now? They would have been trotting out people that they want to put into positions of power who have elections coming up and really, really talked about, like, putting these people on a pedestal and making sure that we get them elected, right? Like, don't you think we did that? So it really bothers me when people say, like, this election's over, Donald Trump's going to be the president, he's going to get inaugurated on the 20th, and I'm just like, really? Don't don't ever police my behavior or you will be removed from my. Fuck are you talking about? They're threatening to unalive a bunch of people if they get into power and you want me to calm down? You're lucky I'm able to sit through a show without bawling my fucking eyes out. You fucking you lack empathy. That's your problem. That's a you problem. I don't want to see people hurting. So when you tell me to relax, That's a you problem. It's not a me problem. My anger is justified. See, I know it makes you uncomfortable. Somebody said, "Why do you deserve empathy?" You talking to me? Everyone deserves empathy. You deserve the least, though, for even asking. Okay? Why do you deserve empathy? Everyone deserves empathy. Every single person. Everyone's vote counts. What the fuck are we talking about? See, one of the things I know is you didn't learn racism in the military. Trust me. Trust me. Being I joke, but being enlisted in the military is just like being in prison. Okay? You can say whatever you want about being in prison versus being in the military. But I actually worked the brig. So I actually drove people from our unit to the UCMJ trial to the brig. So I got to like see how it's like the military, right? Have you ever seen Last Castle? Is it Robert Redford? It's a great fucking flick. Um, the culture in a tight knit group of people is so. Hey, you should have an itchy trigger finger if you're a mod for me. Yeah. There's 250 fucking people in here. Stay on your shit. The people that come in here and make those comments, they've already reported the live. So before you even see it, be real quick. I'd rather have people hitting me up and being like, "I got insta banned from your live." Okay, fix yourself. I'm not your fucking. I'm not your daddy. Just make sure. Just make sure everybody understands. I'm not a father figure to you. You understand? I don't have kids. I don't want kids. This is an adult show. I use adult language. We are having adult conversations. You understand? My job, what I come in here every day to do is to de-escalate. Why? Because here's my little pitch, okay? I started studying brainwashing because that's how I perceive Trump supporters. These people that are left. You're gonna have to be here for a while before you get to be a mod, prank. So and the mods will recruit. I don't recruit. So don't come to me trying to mod for me. You're gonna have to talk to the mods. Talk to the mods. They'll recruit when they need help, and they'll recruit people that have been here for a while, okay? So I was studying brainwashing and I was trying to figure out like how do we break these ardent Donald Trump fans like in the end, okay? How do we break them? And right after November 5th, do you remember the order that kind of came from the top of the Democratic Party was to isolate MAGA? Do you remember? Where they said block and ignore, block and ignore. Do you remember that? Okay. Oh my god, my brain hurts. Some of y'all, man, it's like you have a parasite living in your brain. Anyway, so when you're brainwashed and you isolate MAGA and you block those people, you also have to make them feel the weight of their decisions, right? So it's not enough to block them. Okay? We are not both sidesing anything. So I don't. Daniel Gonzalez, this will be the most attention that you ever get. Daniel.Gonzalez 777. It's a little too late to be both sidesing shit. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna pass. Democrats are in lockstep and voted against billionaire corporate control of our government, and that happened like a couple days ago. So I don't even want to be friends with someone that will both sides politics at this juncture. We're past that part. We're past that part. I think this is the death of the Republican Party. There's a reason that I'm like, we have to, yeah, we ain't both sides and shit. You aren't gonna be my friend in my live and in my podcast chat, both sidesing shit. Savvy? Exactly. We are not going back. This is the death of the Republican Party. There's a reason that I'm trying to form the American Socialist Party. Okay? The American Socialist Party would exist to be left of the Democrats and push, I'm for universal health care, education, income, and housing, and I'm for doing anything that moves us in that direction. Like, I'll take Medicare for all, right? But I'm trying to get to universal health care, right? And I'll take permanent oh come on EBT food stamps, permanent food stamps, where you can get food stamps no matter what, meaning that that is a step towards universal income, okay? But what permanent federally regulated food stamps would do is, first of all, it would be a better funded program. It would mean more money. Meaning, like, instead of food stamps, for the record, I helped the elderly and the poor with their health care. So if you're going to come in my comments and start fucking arguing with me, you're going to fucking lose. Because I regularly talk to people that get $16 a month for food stamps, $32 a month for food stamps, $54 a month for food stamps. Let me explain to you what that buys. If I had the noise machine, it would have been crickets. So just crickets. What does that shit buy? Fucking nothing. But if the federal government offered unlimited federal food stamps, it would have to be $500 to $1,000 a month that they give you just for food. That's not universal income, but it's a step in the right direction. Okay? Okay? So understand universal health care we just talked about. M4A is a step in the right direction. Well, Kelly, here's the problem, Kelly. Here's the problem. All the healthcare companies that exist, okay, I'm about to answer your question and I'm about to shit on a whole bunch of people's arguments, okay? The problem that I have is that if you took out all of the paid healthcare plans, all of the healthcare in the United States that Americans pay for, and you took it all away from all those healthcare companies, they still make billions of dollars a year. So understand that the money that they charge you as an American for your healthcare is because you will pay for it. Because you will pay for it. And those companies all exist worldwide in 33 of 34 developed countries. They've got Anthem. They've got United Healthcare. That all offers socialized healthcare in all those other countries, and they're still making billions of dollars worth of profit. So why are we even talking about merging healthcare companies? They're making billions of dollars and they don't even need the money we pay them. They don't even need the money we pay them. They make billions of dollars a year. They don't need the money we pay them. We pay that money because we will pay that money. You will pay for that healthcare. That's why. It's not because it has to happen. It has to happen, Jared, or Daddy doesn't get paid. No. They're making billions of dollars a year in profit. And if they take away all the paid health care that we pay for, if they took that away, they still make billions of dollars in profit. So you are only paying for it because you will. You will pay for it. Not me. Understand that I'm saying you because I'm a disabled veteran. I go through the VA. Just know if I ever have a health problem, I'm dead because the fucking Rotabush is a half an hour away. So thank me for my service. while I'm telling you that you deserve socialized health care. I'm trying to get you something that what I got ain't good enough. You get it? What I'm getting isn't good enough. And when it comes to housing, one of the things that I point out is that I bought my house July of 2017. My little 2,400 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, single floor home in a quiet little neighborhood was $175,000. That house right now, this house that I own, has more than doubled in value since I bought it. And I can never fucking sell it. And I can never expect to buy another house and pay under $200,000 for a couple thousand square foot house. Okay. I'll never be able to get as low an interest rate. I'll never be able to get as low a payment as I have right now. And if I know that and I'm able to recognize that's a fucked up situation to be in, I am stuck here. Until my financial situation gets to a point where I can afford to potentially double or triple my mortgage. And by the way, I'm paying $1,500 fucking dollars. And also I can't keep up with the comments. There's 200 people in here. So I'm seeing stuff fly by, but I thought somebody said that you get what you pay for in healthcare, and that's not fucking true. The best healthcare that you can get has no cost. Next. What's your next argument? Because what you just said was dumb. How much did the VA kick in to help me buy my house? I only had to pay 1% down. So I paid $1,700 down on my house. Thank me for my service. I think that's a great fucking benefit. Okay? I think that's a great benefit. And I think if you don't have a 4-year degree and you didn't serve your country, something's wrong. Okay? So I don't know what the directive was from the people in your life, but if you weren't told from a young age to get a degree or serve your country, somebody did you wrong. Savvy? And then I think this is interesting, given our conversation the last few days. This is interesting. Look what I just seen. Yeah, AI taking all these jobs. We need universal health care, education, income, and housing. And you know what? I also worked for Sallie Mae. I help people pay their student loans. You shouldn't even exist. You should not have to pay to get a college degree. And this, listen to me. I'm a smart person and I've never had to pay for my college. Do you understand? And I'm not talking about veterans benefits. I use veterans benefits for me. But I've been offered to go to school for free. Yep. hmm I wanted to make sure the VA paid for the right education. Okay? Yes, they actually are actively working for our downfall. So, okay. Yeah, mama, scholarship offers, straight up. Like I said, I worked for 5 years for a company here in Indianapolis, Indiana, that helped people get ADT home security systems installed. And when I left that company, I was fourth all time in installs. And I never left the corporate office. All I did all day for 4 years was help get a technician to your house to get you a fucking security system installed. And when you're really goddamn good at your job, people are going to want to come learn from you. And so I got to meet a ton of people, like people that own colleges and run colleges. And they were, why don't you why don't you come to WGU, Jared? Why don't you come to Ball State? Why don't you come to Earlham? Why don't you come to Richmond? Why don't you come to Vincennes, Jared? Like, I'll pay for you to get a degree through my school. I don't want that shit. I want the most valuable degree that I can get for the time period that includes the major and the school. Okay? So, right now, what I've said is I expect Article 4, Article 5 wartime powers. I've even floated the concept of Joe Biden stepping down as partially the reason that they met at the White House the other day, is so that he could clean his desk out and she could move into the Oval Office. Of course, I don't know that that's going to happen. Okay, right? I want, yeah, like you wanted me to know there's a difference between what really happened, what they're saying happened, and what I think happened, right? I'm just trying to be closer to what really happened because a lot of times what they're telling us is going on, I don't believe that, right? It would be different if I don't know about y'all. I can't even think on how often I read a news story and I'm like, I don't believe that. Like, do you do that? U.S. government been preparing for January 6, 2025 per NIC memorandum declassified 10/16/24. Do you have a link? You said it was an NIC memorandum. But yeah, I want to make sure that we're letting our audience know. I got a couple hundred people in here. I gotta make sure that TikTok knows. Like, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. There's so many people in here. Listen to me. Listen to me. Like this shit, share this shit, follow me, all that shit. Okay, listen. If you haven't contacted your elected representatives, you need to fucking get it done. You need to contact them and you need to tell them that you are concerned about the results of this election and you are concerned about the future of your country and democracy on the whole if Donald Trump and his ilk are to ever get in power, and you want every measure taken, every step done, everything done that can be done to prevent him from getting into office, and you make it fucking known. And all you got to do, babies, is Google U.S. House of Representatives, your senators, your elected officials. You got time. Not happening, Jay. Not in here. One thing that we don't do is we don't even interact. Okay? Uh, Block people. If you see somebody that is still a MAGA supporter, block them. Don't interact with them. Especially don't negatively interact with them. They're going to make your time here feel bad. Okay? I don't care if they're useless. Crazy. I don't care if they're useless. I need you to contact them because you know what I need them to do? I need them to recognize publicly that their phone is fucking ringing off the hook nonstop 24 hours a day. People are leaving voicemails. People are doing everything but showing up at my office. And everything but. Send them a phone cable. Send them a phone charger. I don't care what you do. You make sure you get in touch with your elected officials and you let them know they're just as ruthless, right? Be ruthless back. Hey, and I'm not telling you to be violent. I ain't saying organize a protest. We're not there yet. I'm trying to get you to save your energy. We might need to, but I don't believe that. Do you understand? I don't believe it'll take that. We're not there yet. Okay? What I fully expect to happen, okay? Tomorrow, I expect to hear something about the report that was delivered. I can be wrong. I'm allowed to be wrong. Okay? Okay? Uh, Riarco, beautiful fucking name, by the way, Ellis. Riarco Ellis. It says, hold on, where are you, buddy? It says, why is it hard? Isn't it treason? Representatives, do your job. Okay, we're going to end on this. We're going to end on this. Okay? Do you understand that it wasn't treason until a few days ago, the 17th? Do you understand that? So if you can admit that it wasn't actually treason until the certification of the election, and also um Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, all those secretaries, they weren't allowed to be a part of that. The current administration was running an election. So they can't interact with all those agencies doing investigations because they could be seen as obstructing an investigation. So that's why they also didn't come out and talk a lot, because they were also probably being interviewed if they knew anything about what happened in this election. And all the information that we've been sharing, I can assure you that the feds have been seeing. So if you think Reddit doesn't matter, if you think that TikTok doesn't matter, if you think YouTube doesn't matter, if you think the content that I'm making doesn't matter, I beg to fucking differ. There's almost 200 fucking people in here, and I've only been doing this shit for a couple months, and I ain't playing music. I ain't dancing and singing. I ain't doing none of that shit. We're talking about real things that are actually fucking happening because we deserve that. We need someone who's just going to tell us the truth and tell us what's really going on. Okay? So buckle up. Shit's going to get fucking rough. But remember, before the election, Jamie Raskin said in an interview, if they don't just do it in the election, we're just going to do it on January 6th, and we're going to tell Donald Trump he's not eligible for office. So all those people that are out there like, oh, I don't have any hope, he's just going to get sworn in on the 20th. Well, you know what's crazy about that is that Jamie Raskin's trying to get a top job within the Democratic Party. And I would think if he was going to shirk on his words and he wasn't going to make good on what he said in that interview, that he wouldn't be trying to get that job. Because who in their right mind in the Democratic Party is going to give it to him? Right? Who's going to give it to him? So, and think about this. I expect something to happen before it comes to that, like the ethics agreement, the emoluments clause, or the Executive Order 13848 investigation coming out, and Jack Smith's reports coming out, and Matt Gaetz's reports due out tomorrow. So people are acting like nothing's happening, and I can tell you, I've been doing this for a while now. Shit is popping every single day. Shit is happening, and it just doesn't. Justice doesn't look like or what you feel like. Like it doesn't look like what you think it looks like. It doesn't feel like it. Justice is not Lady Liberty and she's green and she's massive and she's got the torch and shit. That's not justice. Remember, justice is the scales, right? The balancing of the scales. Okay? So I don't know what's going to I don't know, but buckle up. Got couple weeks until we might need to protest, mass protest. Okay? So that's the way I think about it. Is that for now, call your representatives. Let's see how the rule of law holds up. If the rule of law holds up, the Constitution holds up, people are held accountable, we're good here. But if not, we the people are going to have to say something. We're going to have to say something, and it's going to have to happen pretty quickly. Have a great Sunday. Okay? I will talk to you soon. Talk to you tomorrow. I'll be live Monday through Friday, 8:30 in the morning to about 10 a.m. 1:30 to about 3 in the afternoon. That's 10 shows. That's a lot. During the week, Monday through Friday, it's a lot. Okay? Catnip said there's a 50-state protest coming up soon. No, there's not. No, there's not. That we're not doing that yet. I'm not advocating for that yet on my channel. Nope. I'll let you know when it is appropriate. I'll be the arbiter. Thank you. Okay. Anything from the birds? I didn't even check. Sorry. I cannot pay attention to that fucking TikTok chat, so y'all gotta be talking in here. I can't do that TikTok chat. Fuck that shit. So counties that had a low Democratic Party registration but higher percentage of other registration between 30 and 35% got the bomb threats. It's trending that way. I don't think anything is happening at Utica. Okay. So yeah, they targeted places with high percentages of white independent voters because they know they're not going to say anything. That's what my birdies told me. They did a deep dive on all 200 plus bomb threats and found that they actually went after independent voters. So you need to reach out to your independent voters that either didn't vote because they were intimidated. Anyway, have a good one.